Welcome back, guys. So let's continue. So from our previous video, we used this form to post data to the database. All right, so this is what we have, and today we'll be looking at how to fetch this data from the database. So guys, if you are ready, then let's continue. So before I start, I normally change this anytime that I open this application. I have to change the directory whenever I goes to the terminal like this. I have to always change this to that before I am able to work on that directory. And so today what I'll be doing is that let me move all the files from this folder and put it in the main directory, which is the demo folder. So let me click on it, reveal, and then let me select all from here and then bring it here. Now I've selected all the folder that is here, that is in this folder, and I've brought it here. But guys, especially those who are using MacBook, and there are still some hidden files that are not showing here, and they are not being moved to this place. So what I would do, what I would advise is that make sure that you open the demo folder again, which is the main folder. Make sure you open, including where you've moved all the files, and then you will see those files and then you remove them. Other than that, you'll be having errors in your code. So let me come back. You can see that I am still there are some files that are not moved in the example-app folder. So let me move them. So let me just click here, and so I've moved that, this and that. I've also moved them to the main directory. Now there's nothing in this folder, and so let me go to file, open folder, demo folder, and then opened. Okay, let me open it from here again. Let's go to new, new, opened, demo, and then let me open it here. So now I'm in the main directory, and there is no any subfolder again. So let me run my server. Yeah, so it's working, and let me click on the npm run dev. It is also working. So the server is working. The compiler, npm compiler is also working. So yeah, so I've already logged in. So now we are here. So this is where we got to. So we use this and post data to the database, and today we want to fetch it. So if I click on this link, it's supposed to send me to that table where all the data that we've sent to the database will be fetched to the user's end. Okay, so let's create our look for a route. Let's create a route, and let's make it a get request. And so now it is users, and let's name the name of that function or that method. Let's make it as index. Okay, and then the name, let's make it users. So let's move on to that folder, and then okay, so we now have that over here, and then so the index what you have here, that's what you have over there, and then you should return a response. Okay, a response. So returned render inertia, and let's say the name of that inertia should be users slash, let's say users. Okay, return inertia. Oh, sorry, return inertia column render. Okay, inertia. Yeah, so this should go to the app pages folder, resource JS component pages, and these are the users folder. Then let's create that file called users.jxx. okay, so now we should have so there is nothing in that folder, that file, users table. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go and change the link so that when I click here it should send me to users table. So let's move to the layout, users route. So we are giving a route here. Let's add a route, and then the name of that route should be slash what users. Let's put that over here. Route. Okay. Route users. Okay, so if I click on it, so yeah, so you can now see that that link it has changed. So let's we want the table we want this the users data to be displayed over here. Okay, so let's move on to MUI. Okay, and then you can just search for table. Okay, if you can also go here and search for table. Okay, and it will bring you here, and then you see basic table. You see this, and this is using DataGrid component. This is just a basic table, so if I'm not going to use that, I will use the DataGrid table, which looks very nice, and in terms of sorting out the data, it makes the work so simple. So let's just expand, make sure that you get the one with the extension JX. Okay, and then let's select all from here. So I will select that and then put it here, right? And let's go to so let's go to the front end. Let's see. Wow, so you can now see that now we have our crates. These are crates, these are users, but because we did not put it in the layout, That's why we are saying that. So let's go to the layout. Let's put it in there. Let me go to create and copy the layout from here. Come to users table, and then I've import the this is the authenticated layout. So let me come here and put it there as this. Okay, let me wrap it with all the so voila. So you can now see that now we have the table over here, and it is very responsive. Guys, you can see that it's very responsive. So when you let's inspect it, you see it is very responsive. So you can see that even as I'm still see it is very responsive. Yeah. We'll have some few errors which we will take care of it later. Now, so what is doing is that the column here, these are the first column, the second column, the third column, the fourth column, and then the fifth column. So you can see it as the columns, okay, or as we have been referred to from our normal table as this the header. So the header, these are the headers, okay, which are the columns, okay, and then whatever that we see over here, okay, this is first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and then fifth row. So we have first row, second row, third row, but because it is pagination, you can now see all of them over there, okay. So we now have 9 rows over here, okay. So that is what we have over here. So let us assume that we now that we want to fetch the from the back end, okay, from the database, we need to customize this so that at least it makes the work so easy for us. So from our database we have first name, last name. It is having first name, last name. Then we need email. So the email, let me change it to email. Let me take the type it, and let's change this to 200 width. So this is email, first name, last name, emails, okay. Now so you can see that there is nothing in the emails table. What again? Phone number. So the header, let me add another one, and let me call it as phone, yeah. And then we have date of birth, so DOB. So this is the field name, okay. This name, the field name, will be should be the same thing as what is coming from the row here, okay. But the header name, you can give it any name as date of birth, okay. Then we have nationality. So nationality, and then let's take the full name out, okay, and let's add created at. So here should be created at. Okay, so we now have our created at. You see, it's very responsive. So we have our nationality, date of birth, we have our phone number, we have our email, first name and then the last name over there, and then so let's take out the roles. So I've taken out the role from here. Okay, let me take everything from here, the roles. Okay, and then now we will be having error because over here the roles that is here is what we have taken. So let's add, let's create that row, and it says that it is roles, and there's a set role. Okay, and then we'll use state. So as at for now, you could see that the use state will be an empty array, and this should show without any error. So at the use state, it is saying that okay, so this should bring something here, but as at now it is empty. Okay, but the header can be found. So this is the header, and that can be found over here. So let's assume that this is our roles for now. Okay, just for demo purpose, and then we'll pull it from the back end, and we'll bring it from the back end to this place. So we use this thing called use effect, and the use effect, it is like a hook component that picks data outside this function. Okay, so outside this function that you are seeing over here, this use effect will now do another function in order to bring something inside this function here. So it is saying that wait, go and do something, whatever that you do from here, you get it, bring it, render it. Okay, so when you render it, if it is empty, then we can put it as empty array. Okay, so we are saying that here now we have our rows which is empty. Okay, these rows over here, it is now empty array. So it is empty array. Now if it is true that we now have the rows which we have defined it as constant, okay, this is a static way, but if it is coming from the database, then it means that it's not going to be like this. So we are saying that okay, so what we are going to do is what you should do is that okay, let's create a constant and say fetch, let's say fetch data. Okay, and says that roles, okay, roles. Okay, so let me give it a name and says that user data. Okay, so that's user data should map and should be data. We can give it an index, and I say that now that it is being mapped, bring it down. Okay, and it should be in an item form. So bring it down. Don't forget that in our previous one, when you are looping through or, then that one you bring it like this, but because we are setting only one item, like item 1, item 2, item 3, we are fetching various items. Okay, then we can then we can make it this way. Okay, but so since it's a loop, let's take only one and bring it as this. Okay, as this, right? All right, so if it makes sense, then let's continue. Okay, so what we are going to do is that now that we're bringing it down, we need to say that, okay, so the header, it is the header, the name of that header field ID, okay, which is going to help us to set it. So we are going to say that the field name, the name of that field is ID, so that ID should be the data over here as it is looping through. Okay, looping through all, so data.id. okay, so it will be data.id, and then we have the um, first name, first name, first name. So the next the next field name is first name. Okay, so that first name will be that, and it should be data dot first name. Okay, so let's check, guys, let's even check this. So it is not coming here because we have not inserted here. Okay, so let's set it. So let's say set, now set the new row. So from the current state, previous state, it was this. Okay, it was empty array, and then the current state will be what we are going to insert now. So that will be what? Fetch fetch data. Okay, and that's all. So you can now see that it is now giving us all this. Now let's add the next one, which is the last name. So that will be the data dot last name, right? So this is the name that we have given to it. Okay, so this is the last name, first name, sorry, first name, and this is the last name. So let's put it over there as the last name. That is how. So now that we have the idea of how this data grid table is being used, let's go to our controller, our users controller, and then now fetch the data and pass it. Okay, so we'll now say that, okay, so now go there and then the post data. Okay, the post data should be what? Should be student dot all. Let's fetch all for now, and then we will now bring it down to this place and say that, okay, that post should be this post. Bring it down. Oh, sorry, post. So we are saying that the data that we fetch, bring it down. Okay, bring it down, and it should be this post. So this is the name that we are going to reference it at the front end. So let's go to the front end, and let's open our function parenthesis, and let's just put post over there. Okay, so we now have post over there. So instead of we using this, okay, the whole of this over here, let's take it out, and then now let's put in our post. Okay, post. Okay, and let's check. Yeah, so now we have that, but I think there is a problem, and the problem is that the name, as it is coming, okay, as we are looping, the name of this post that is looping, it is not first name as we have named in a database like this. So the name of that, it is first underscore last name. So let's go and check, and you see now that we now have a Nancy. So this will also be underscored last name, and then we now have, so let's move on to our next column. The next column is email, and in the table then the field name is email, so make this place as email. So here it will be what, emails. And then the next one, I think that one too, we've made it phone underscore number. So phone underscore number number. At here we've made it phone underscore number from the database. Okay, but I think over here we've made it only phone. The field name, we've made it only phone. Okay, so get that. So we now have our phone, and then the date of birth. So date of birth, um DOB is the full name. DOB is the full name. So the DOB should be data dot dob. Okay, and then nationality, it should be the data dot nationality. Okay, so let's go and look at national, so national ID. So national ID, so we have that, and we now say that if it is um if it is equal to this, okay, if it is equals to vin, okay, so I will come to that, okay, so that we don't waste much time. And then let's look at the create. Okay, so created at as the full name here. Okay, and this will give us data dot create created underscore at. Okay, but you see this, the date, it doesn't look nice. So if you want to format the date, then we can use what is called moment. Okay, moment moment like this, and then we will code our data dot created underscore at over here, and says that dot format. Okay, and then we can now say that the format should be do dot y dot let's take, yeah, yeah. So those of you, if you are having, if it is your first time, import the moment here, and make sure that you installed this moment, and this is how you're going to install it. Go to your terminal and say that npm installed moment. Okay, so the moment will be installed, and then to use the data grid, okay, to use the data grid, when you import it, it will, if you've not installed it, it will be giving you an error. Okay, this, so you can also come here and say npm installed this. Okay, and so you install it, and yeah, so if everything is fine, you should now have your table like this. So let's create another one, and let's say this is the first name is student. Okay, let's say m first class, and then last class, and let's say the image first and last class at, and let's say that okay, and let's say the date of birth will be let's give a proper let's go back a bit and take something that's let's use this as lesson it. Too long for the column phone number at, insert into student first name, last name, phone number, string data right on. Too long for phone number. So let's look at the phone number again. Let's say demo 1, demo 2, demo 3. Let's say demo at and then the national, let's use this now. Okay, so successfully posted. So we have that over here, and then let's add another one, and let's see, this one is my student, then my last, and then let's say students, at okay, and let's use this, and let's say this. Okay, and it is successfully posted. Let's go to users, and then we have orders. We'll come to changing of this, but let's customize it a bit. You can see that the last name still is not able, but we can still expand it here. Okay, so let's give the width of the last name as 200. Okay, so now it's well, it's okay now. Let's say we want to give the first name, so let's put some colors and other things to make this very nice. So let's say the phone number should be highlighted, so we can say that the phone number should render cell. Okay, and then let's say parameter, and let's say that should give us, should return something here like this. Let's say returned let's say chips. Okay, and let's say that chips should have a label. Okay, okay, so let's test the label, and let's see test, and let's test it and see. So okay, so now the phone number label is test. Let's give it some color, and then the color should be success. Wow, okay, so now let's change the label to the phone number, and says that it is params dot the value of that. Okay, so now we have the phone number to be this, and then let's change the date of birth. So now the date of birth over here should be let's change the date of birth. So the date of birth here, we can also use this as, so it will just be the same thing as this, but just that we'll not add the minutes and then the seconds to it. So let's take out this again, and let's bring DOB. So now the date of birth is 25th September. DOB, let's take this out, the day, the month, and then the year. Okay, so we can also customize that over here to make it a bit nicer. And let's say render cell. Okay, and then let's say it should come from a parameter, params, and let's say that params should give us returned let's say another chips. Okay, I don't want this here, so let's close it here. This, let me also close it here, and let's say the labeled should be params dot a value. Okay, and the color should be primary, and let's keep the size to be large. Okay, so now you guys, you can now see that our table is looking nicer and nicer coming. And then let's say that let's move to this and that. Okay, so we can now see that over here returned. Okay, render this, render cell params. Okay, and now let's say that if the params dot value, if it is the same thing as VinID, then let's return it as let's return returned another chip. Okay, and let's say that the labeled should be voters ID, and then else if it is else if, okay, then let's return something here. Okay, so else if it is DLS, else if it is DLS, then it should be what did we say the DLS is? So the DLS should be national ID, national ID, so national ID, and then the NHI, Oh, let me bring this also here, and let's say else if it is NHIS, then it should be National Health Insurance. It should be National Health Insurance, and then else if okay, if it is the last one is uh, uh, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 and then 4 DNIVDDLS, and then so we have DLS, or DLS is there, VID is there, NHI. So I think 1 2 3 4. Guys, let me copy from here and then make a reference so that so we now have D is this there, and H. So 11 and N ID, national ID. Oh, okay. So the driver's license will be the this. Okay. So this will be the driver's license, and then the national health insurance ID will now be this. Okay. Will now be this. That's this national ID. So guys, so now that we have been able to customize all that, now let's give it some color, and let's say that the first one should be the color of warning, and this one the color should be success. This color should be error color, and this color should be primary color. Let's make this also what about yellow? No, let's make it the first color. Let's see. Okay, orange. So we can check these colors from here. Colors. So we can now have or chips. Just go to chips, and then you can now see error info, warning, secondary, primary, default, error info. So let's use this as what, info, and let's move on, and then you can now see all that's over there. Okay, so now our table is looking very nice, very nice. So guys, we'll end here and continue in our next video. Take your time and practice it, and don't go and be doing here and here and here. Other than that, you will not be able to understand whatever that we are doing. But just take your time and follow the video step by step, practice it, and I am much confidence that you are going to master. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you are a beginner or um, um, or whatever, you can still learn and master it. This is the library that even um, it is being used even in YouTube. You can check it out and all that, which is used in building their application. So if you know, if you are able to master this MUI component, you'll be able to come out with a very good front end and also the back end, which is going to fetch you a job. So guys, subscribe, and then let's um let's continue with our next video. Thank you.